In this tutorial, we will show you how to transcribe audio into text from blob storage using Power Automate. This video is narrated by Azure Text-to-Speech Service. Before start, you need a Power Automate account, an Azure Speech or Cognitive Service multiple service resource, and an Azure Storage account resource. Once you have these ready, sign into Power Automate. From the left side menu, select My Flows. Then select New Flow, Template. Search by keyword Speech Blob and select the template Transcribe audio files to text from Azure Blob. Here you need to connect with your Azure Blob storage resource as well as speech resource. First, set up the connection for Azure Blob storage connector. You can select an existing connection or add a new. Here we will add a new connection as an example. In the authentication type drop-down, there are 3 types of authentications supported. Here we are using access key for authentication. Then you need to input the Azure Storage account name and access key. If you don't have a storage account, you can create an Azure portal. This is an storage account we created. Go to Access Keys and copy the name and the key. Then paste them here. Next, set up the connection for Azure Batch Speech-to-Text connector. You can select an existing connection or add a new. Here we will add a new connection as an example. In the authentication type drop-down, there are 2 types of authentications supported. Here we are using API key for authentication, and you need to input the Azure Speech resource key and region. If you don't have an Azure Speech resource, you can create an Azure portal. This is a resource we created. Go to Keys and Endpoint. Copy the key and region. Then paste them here. Then you should be able to use the template and edit on top of it. The original template includes an action of when a blob is added or modified, and check audio format and transcribe into text with several conditions and loops. In the action of when a blob is added or modified, input the container name. You need to specify a container in your storage account. In Azure Portal, you can choose a container or create a new one, then copy its name and paste it here. In the variable of input locale, you need to input a locale variable that matches with your desired audio contents. Here we are using ENUS as an example. Alternatively, in the action of Create Transcription, you can also enable automatic language identification as an advanced option to identify languages spoken in audio when compared against a list of supported languages. Besides, you can also specify more advanced settings for the batch transcription service, like enabling word-level timestamps, number of audio channels, profanity filter, per your needs. Then the rests are all automatically configured. Now you can save the flow and start to use it once it's successfully saved. Now let's quickly test your automation flow. You can go back to the storage container and upload an audio file. The speech service supports audio formats of WAV, OGG, MP3. Here we are using an example, my audio.wav file. Wait for a few seconds. You can check the progress in Power Automate. If everything goes well, you should be able to see 2 folders, trans, log, created under the same container, and in the trans folder it contains the recognized plain text file as well as the detailed JSON file. Now enjoy your automation with Azure Speech Service.